When was it?
We're always live.
Yeah, but I mean, when was the last time we was live?
Last time we were live on Beer Sweden television, because
television's just been invented, hasn't it?
Pretty much. It was the February the 27th, Trev.
I don't think we've ever had such a long break, have we?
No, this is. I mean, well, see, the idea.
I'm almost pining.
Same here.
Oh, did you miss me too, Darren?
I'm pleased to see you.
Really? Oh, lovely. Thanks a lot, mate. What a compliment.
Yeah, I am. I'm actually so excited to see you that I'm almost like
tempted to.
I've got a big rush of blood to my head. Really.
Tempted to make balloon animals.
Balloon animals. Look, did you guess what it is yet?
Yeah, it's
a yeast
infection. No, it's.
I don't know why.
I think you should cut that bit out.
Should we cut it out? No, leave it in. I'll be on, everyone.
Keep in that I said. I think you should cut it out and let them guessing as to what I said.
Okay. Are we on?
Yes, mate.
Are we on?
Welcome back.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It feels good, doesn't it, Trev? We're back.
I must be honest. I was pining a little bit.
You were pining. I know you were. That's right. That's why.
I find it hard to find the time these days, but I was missing it.
You're a busy man. You're a busy man. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Beer Sweden Television. Trev, it's been a while. It has been a while. It's
not television anymore. Sorry, no, it's not. It's not.
Things have moved on.
It's technologically farther on.
What's the next thing then? What have we got to do now then?
I think it might be something to do with
holograms. Holograms.
It's something to do with this red light blinking, saying the battery's run out.
Oh, is that blinking now and the battery's running out?
So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to stop this and we'll start again.
Should we cut?
Yeah, we'll just go. Right, are you ready? Do you want to do a professional?
That was a good start.
Well, that was seamless, wasn't it?
Can't tell the difference.
I can't tell any difference at all.
It's very difficult to keep that there, I tell you. But Trev, how have you been? What's been happening?
Well, you know, busy.
By the way, going to be a short episode, yeah?
Work.
A short episode, isn't it? We're going to, but anyway, how you been?
Not bad, mate. Okay, not bad. Good. You've been busy, I know.
Yeah, busy being that little
proprietor now of a brewery
studio and all that sort of thing.
Hello, who's that coming up the path? Who's that young lad?
Grinning like a guest here, look, part of the family's turning up. Just showing you how live this is,
Tom.
Everyone.
Come here a minute.
Tom.
You have to get in front of the camera, but come here. Standing beside me is Darren's eldest son called Tom. Say hello to Beer Sweden, Tom.
Hello.
Hello, see? Talks proper.
Beer Sweden, absolutely. Absolutely. Doors open, matey. Just cleave in. What?
Anyway, exactly. Cleave on in.
Cleave on in. Anyway, Trev, that's enough of us.
Yes, we'll get back to beer,
I had thought, though, actually, before we start on this tasting, because, of course, it's Friday today, isn't it, Trev?
Yeah. Ish.
What do you think of this weather, by the way?
Lovely. Should I pan?
Yeah, do a little pan of the whole thing and just look at the...
Hang on, that's not supposed to happen, is it? Hang on. I think I'm a bit out of practice, mate.
I don't think you should expect any phone calls from Steven Spielberg.
No.
You got hair on the front of the camera there. Look,
I was looking for it just now. It's definitely not mine.
Have you been? Did you meet Jessica before the show? Welcome back. My balloon's gone. What are we talking about, Trev? Yeah, the weather. I tell you, the next person that says to me that you should be used to this because it's like British weather. What are we going to do?
Smack them around the ear roll.
Smack them around the ear roll. It's not like British weather. I hate it. I'm not ever going to get used to it.
It's about 25 plus in England at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know, do you? It's 5 degrees. It's icy cold water, isn't it?
It's very cold.
It's freezing. Absolutely freezing. It's miserable. But anyway, Trev, talking about TV, I thought, how many episodes have we done now? Do you know?
What, total you mean?
Total amount of episodes now. Is it 120 or something? 100 and something.
I know this is the biggest break we've ever had, so I reckon we've sort of like fallen behind a little bit.
We have, and other people have overtaken us, but we'll catch up. But
2011 was a mammoth year, wasn't it?
It was a big year, but I reckon we've been doing this for a little while now, haven't we? And I think we're pretty good at it. I think it's time, Trev. I think we are ready for TV, real TV.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
And I doubt they'd give me one of those big cameras that he'd lunk around the floor.
No, I'm sure they will. And I've come up with a what do you call it? A synopsis. Is it called a synopsis?
Synopsis, yeah. Go on.
I've come up with a synopsis for a show, you and me.
Go on, then.
TV show.
I ain't wearing a bloody cravat, I know that.
Listen to me, you're going to love it. Right? It's you and me, right? We travel around the world.
Isn't it you and I?
You and I. Travel around the world, not in London, it's not. Travel around the world drinking beer.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's not exactly a stretch, is it?
No, but I haven't really got a lot further than that, but that's the kind of concept. I think it's going to be brilliant. I think it is. So if anyone's actually...
Oh, that is the totality of the idea, is it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's sketchy and I need to work it up a little bit, but the general idea, you and me...
Well, I can't do it, obviously, because I can't get away that much.
No, but this is a job, Trev. I mean, proper TV people will pay us money to do it.
Oh, right, gotcha. Wow.
Although, personally, if anyone's out there from TV land, I would do it for free. Trev won't, because he doesn't do anything for free.
Never.
He always goes on about money all the
Not
time.
that I get
anyway,
paid.
Listen,
Not that I get paid.
Listen, that's enough of that. Let's drink some beer, shall we? Or taste some beer, should I say?
So it's Jessica's new beer.
Now, it's Jessica's newish beer. Actually, it's the latest one, yeah. It's the latest Sankt Eriks.
It's an upper.
Oh, it's cold. It's too
Actually,
cold.
talking about things that wind me up, you know, you're saying about the English where people saying,
Yeah.
See what does wind me up?
What's that?
When people ask for an EPA. It's a bloody IPA. Now, let me finish. If it's an English acronym, then pronounce it correctly, right? Because it's...
Do you hear that, BeerSweden Nation?
It's not UFO, it's... If you want to use the Swedish pronunciation of the letters...
Thing now, are we?
Yeah, well, the thing is, if that's the case, it's UFO, not UFO, right?
What about this one then? APA? What do you...
RPR.
Yeah.
Some EP... I'll have them saying EPR, but not EPA.
Not ARPA.
Exactly. Don't you agree?
Yeah, I do agree.
It's HIV, not heave.
No, you're absolutely linguistically correct.
Yeah.
Trev. And thank you for sharing.
I'm back.
Now listen, let's crash into this because it's already about 10 minutes and YouTube are looking at us already, I'm sure.
Moaning, I
They're
know.
probably looking at us going, oh, can't you guys.
Why do they bother?
What have I done? I've got the... Hang on. Trev,
Wrong
you
end
can
of the stick.
You can see we're out of practice.
Out of practice,
can't you?
Darren.
Gee, I was almost going to open the wine. What's going on? Listen, this is the latest Sankt Eriks beer. It's an ARPA, an American Pale Ale, RPR, Trev. It is in one of these classy little bottles, obviously, and it is 5% alcohol. American
Nice.
Pale Ale in style, a style of beer. I know that Jessica was in Umeå actually, Trev.
Yeah,
you know
I saw-
that, don't
I
you?
saw it on
on the
the blog,
blog.
yeah.
Jessica, let me just. Still works, a bit wet, still works. Have a look at when Jessica came to town. That was last week in live time.
She's all dressed up, she had a scarf on.
She had a scarf on. And do you know what? The first time I've ever, because Jessica and I, well, obviously, you know, we've met many times in the UK and so on, and always spoken English to Jessica because she takes pity on
Oh,
me.
the first time you heard her speak Swedish?
First time I ever, I tell you, she's really good at it.
Well, I do speak to her in Swedish personally.
She's like fluent.
Really? That good?
Really good.
Because I noticed a few mistakes when I spoke to her.
I was really
she had and
impressed.
she had this funny breathing.
Yeah.
German or something.
No, I know. She's. I mean, I was.
Oh, she was just putting it on.
Totally blown away by her Swedish. Very impressed.
Mind you, that being said, her English is excellent.
English is excellent. Better than yours. It is actually.
All right.
Really good.
I'll give you that one.
Anyway, and we were talking about her beers, of course. Basically, I spent a whole day at school, Trev. Went back to school, spent a whole day there, learned a lot about St. Eriks beers, Sankt Eriks beers. That's the reason why I wanted to showcase this on our Friday. This is the Friday after work beer. Today, after work, this is it. Okay?
Was I supposed to zoom or something? Because I've forgotten all
I
that.
can't remember. And we haven't done any after work beers on the show, have we? It's always been photographed, so this is a little bit different. But anyway, what is this beer all about? Well, basically, it's a very classical, sort of classic style APA. Jessica told me that it was one of the beers that inspired her. In fact, one of the benchmark beers that she always referred to was Sierra Nevada's Pale Ale.
Oh, right, okay.
Which is, you know, considered a benchmark. And she was actually sort of referring to how interesting it is that when that first came out, how incredibly blingy and wowy it was, and everyone's completely blown away by how hoppy it is. But the fun thing is, if you revisit it now, having had this little sort of craft beer revolution going on, it's actually quite tame.
It's not bland.
In context to everything else.
It's not bland.
Not bland, of course not. Still a very competent, well put together, constructed, and I would argue still the benchmark, or certainly the starting point that you should be looking at when you're looking at Pale Ale.
But when you've got like hardcore and...
Yeah, but there is a lot more going on now in terms of that genre. So this is Jessica's interpretation of that. Uses the big C, the one that really started the ball rolling. Cascade hops, right? Lots of that in there. And a very nice sort of caramel, well, what did you say? Sort of burnished bronze sort of colour to it. Shall we, Trev? And I've been waiting for weeks to go and say, let's give it a whirl.
Give it a whirl.
Should we give it a whirl? Do you want me to clicky click click? I suppose I do as well, don't I? Should I do it now while I remember? That's all the stats system blog. It came out on the 2nd of April, so we're
a couple of weeks behind.
We're about a couple of weeks behind, Trev. We're going to have to catch up. Give it a whirl, though, Trev. Give it a whirl. Even if it's cold.
Even if what?
It's cold. It's cold. I'm cold. It's cold. Everything's cold. First off, it's Sankt Eriks off. You know, you can pretty much nail it almost every time. I can. So with Jessica's beers, you're getting that pithy, obviously extremely hoppy. There's a lovely, lovely floral, citrusy bouquet to this. Obviously, there's been bags of Cascade thrown into this. You get that instantly on the nose. and that kind of pithy, and I always keep referring to stems of grapes. I don't know why, but the actual apple stems, that kind of characteristic. I mentioned it lots of times on the blogs, smelling it here too, and that is just so incredibly Jessica, and I'm not quite sure why. I don't know what's actually doing it for me, but I do get that theme going all the way through her beers. But lovely tropical fruit nose to it, as it should be with Cascade. And bang, it's there as well. Lovely sort of bitterness to it as well. This is actually a hoppy APA. Somewhere occupying that kind of glorious place between an APA and an IPA, sort of sliding in there very, very nicely.
Aren't APAs supposed to be very hoppy?
Yes, they are, absolutely, yeah. They are hoppy by nature. IPAs supposedly more hoppy, but this one is, I would say, bang on form, but really adventurous. I like it. I like it a lot. I mean, I think we're pretty sort of, we've been pretty happy with most of the...
Absolutely, I buy IPA home, to have at home a lot. Yeah. I enjoy the beers a lot.
Yeah. And I think actually, just sort of summing up my experience with the day that I spent with Jessica, what I would like to sort of say of all of it is I think actually that St. Eriks as a brand and as a concept, with the beers that they've launched in Sweden over the last year or so, they've really done a service to the beer scene, because what we've actually got here is a beer sort of concept that's brewed on a fairly substantial scale at a price that's really quite attractive, and yet has beers of character. So really is there, I think, crossover beers that are actually being able to convert people who wouldn't be prepared to pay 25, 30 crowns, 70 crowns for a bottle of craft beer. But here they're actually getting something for a reasonable price, which might just tip the balance. And for that, I think, the beer scene here in Sweden does salute Jessica. We salute her, don't we, Trev?
Without doubt, everything you just said, I think you just hit the nail on the head.
Did I nail it on the head?
Because I was trying to think back, when we started out, it's probably exactly almost 2 years ago, right? 2010 March or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And this was St. Eriks, and you might remember, I knew nothing, right? And you come out with one of these, well, that's a nice looking bottle, and then you told me about, this woman that you knew that was a travelling, blah, 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 blah. And I tried, and that was one of my first explorations into anything other than bitter.
Yeah.
So, and was that pretty new for them then?
Yeah,
were they quite new?
The first one, the Pilsner, was Jessica's first.
Right.
Was her first.
So look, 2 years down the road.
2 years down the road, we've had
established, not sold out.
We've had barley wines. We've had Scottish Scotch ale. We've had all sorts of stuff. IPAs, of course.
Really good.
A pale ale. We've got this one as well. In fact, I tried, I think, 7 St. Eriks beers last week. All of them have this very distinctive kind of pithiness to them, which I really, really like. It really does sort of set them apart. Very interesting beers. In terms of rating, Trev, because we don't want to ramble on, do we?
Well, I think that's past
it's too late. In terms of rating, Trev, I think this is probably one of the best St. Eriks that I've had. You want to have a little sip?
Yeah, I'll do.
It's got a nice, let's not forget, because although it's obviously got a big Cascade hit, it's got a very nice sort of Pilsner malty type base to it. Soft sort of caramel, quite light, 5%, wouldn't know it, very well hidden.
Lovely.
Just lovely, lovely beer. Yeah, Trev's back. Trev's back. Mental note to myself, buy more beers when we actually taste. I'll put the top back on there, Trev, you can take that back home. Consider it your salary for this
Cheers,
month.
mate.
In terms of rating,
this month, I'm getting another one next month.
Yeah, next month you get one more bottle.
Blimey.
In terms of rating, Trev, I'm going to go fairly high on this one, I think.
I think it's lovely. I think it's lovely, and it's sitting there.
I'm thinking it's there, isn't it? You get this build-up, residual, and it's building and building and building, and it's there. You'll have that in 2 or 3 minutes.
Delish, dude.
Talk about, Jessica made a good point. We're going on, but anyway, I'm going to tell you anyway because I think it's pertinent. Jessica made a good point because she's actually a trained sommelier. You know that, so she knows a lot about wine, and she was talking about length of taste. And in the wine world, it's often about sort of 15-20 seconds. And that's considered a long sort of aftertaste. But when you talk about beer, surely we're talking about, it could be up to 15-20 minutes, half an hour. In fact, I've actually gone to bed and woken up the next morning and tasted exactly the same thing in my mouth.
But you don't know what your wife's been doing during the night.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Probably pouring it in there. But, it is, I think in terms of power and in terms of impression, these beers are amazing, absolutely amazing. In terms of ratings, Trev, I'm going to go, is it 3.9 or 4? Should we do a 4? Shall we do a 4?
I'd have tipped it over that, to be honest.
You'd have gone over
I'd have gone a 4.2.
You'd have gone 4.2.
It's lovely. I think it's delicious.
It is delicious. I'm going to go 4 then. I'm going to go 4. I should have, yeah, I'm going to go 4. So this is a 4 from Jessica. Great beer, fridge beer, summer beer, written all over it. That's it for now, Trev. This is, are we going to film another live episode outside in the rain soon?
Well, let's hope the rain keeps up for continuity.
Exactly. So we'll be back here, maybe different clothes, if we can be bothered. Otherwise, until next time, everyone, cheers and beers.